Welcome to our channel. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most complex and enduring conflicts in modern history, the Palestine-Israel War. From its origins to the present-day situation, we'll unpack the key events, the human stories, and the geopolitical ramifications. Let's begin. Historical background. The early 20th century. To understand today's conflict, we need to go back to the early 20th century. Palestine then, under Ottoman rule, became a focus for Jewish immigration due to rising anti-Semitism in Europe and the Zionist movement advocating for a Jewish homeland. British Mandate period. After World War I, Britain took control of the region under a League of Nations mandate. The Balfour Declaration of 1917 expressed support for a Jewish national home, but it also promised to protect the rights of existing non-Jewish communities. This dual obligation led to escalating tensions between Jews and Arabs, partition, and the 1948 war. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan, dividing the land into separate Jewish and Arab states. The Jewish leadership accepted the plan, while Arab leaders rejected it, leading to the First Arab-Israeli War in 1948. Israel declared independence, and neighboring Arab countries invaded. By the end of the war, Israel controlled much of the land, while Jordan annexed the West Bank and Egypt took Gaza. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians became refugees. Escalation and key turning points. The Six-Day War and Occupation. The 1967 Six-Day War was a turning point. Israel captured the West Bank, Gaza Strip, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. This marked the beginning of Israeli military occupation over Palestinian territories. The settlements and international response. In the years that followed, Israel established settlements in the occupied territories, which the international community largely considers illegal under international law. These settlements remain a major obstacle to peace. The First and Second Intifadas. The First Intifada, 1987 to 1993, was a grassroots uprising against Israeli occupation. The Second Intifada, 2000 to 2005, was far bloodier, with suicide bombings, military incursions, and thousands of casualties on both sides. Oslo Accords and the collapse of peace talks. The Oslo Accords in the 1990s were a historic attempt to resolve the conflict, creating the Palestinian Authority and outlining a path to a two-state solution. However, the agreements collapsed due to disagreements over key issues like borders, refugees, and Jerusalem. The current conflict. The 2023 escalation. The most recent escalation began on October 7, 2023, when Hamas launched a large-scale attack on southern Israel, killing over 1,400 people and taking hostages. Israel responded with massive airstrikes on Gaza, targeting Hamas but also causing significant civilian casualties. Humanitarian crisis in Gaza. As of today, thousands have been killed on both sides, with Gaza's civilian population bearing the brunt of the violence. Humanitarian conditions have deteriorated rapidly, with shortages of food, water, and medical supplies. International reactions and diplomacy. The international community remains divided. Some countries back Israel's right to defend itself, while others call for an immediate ceasefire and accuse Israel of disproportionate force. Voices from both sides. Behind the headlines are real people, families who've lost loved ones, children growing up in fear, and communities struggling to survive. Geopolitical implications. Regional dynamics. The conflict influences and is influenced by broader Middle Eastern geopolitics. Countries like Iran and Saudi Arabia play significant roles, either directly or through proxies. U.S. and global involvement. The United States has historically been a key ally of Israel, providing military aid and political support, while Europe and other global powers advocate for a balanced approach. What lies ahead? Potential solutions. The path to peace requires addressing root causes: the occupation, security concerns, and mutual recognition. Challenges to peace. The level of hostility and mistrust makes achieving peace incredibly difficult, but history has shown that dialogue, though challenging, is essential. The Palestine-Israel conflict is not just a regional issue, it's a global one, touching millions of lives. Staying informed, advocating for human rights, and supporting humanitarian efforts are critical. Thank you for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analyses.